previously.
Not so much so. There, take that, you cross little monster.
Do you know what that is? There?
I can't guess what it is.
It's a great cake. A bride cake. Those Pip are my relations. The pockets.
Hello, young fellow.
Well, behave yourself. I've a pretty large experience of boys, and you're a bad lot of fellows. Now, mind you behave yourself.
Come and see me on your next birthday.
Yes, mistress.
Estella. Show him up.
Pip visits Miss Havisham at her house to thank her for paying for his apprenticeship. He's disappointed at the meeting. Miss Havisham does see him for a few moments, but only to laugh at him when he looks around for Stella. Stella has in fact been sent abroad to be educated as a lady. Miss Havisham asks him to visit her once a year at his birthday. On the way home, Pip meets Mr. Wopsle. From the mist, Ulrich appears suddenly. He's acting strangely while telling them about some escaped convict. Pip returns home to find nearly the whole of the village gathered around his house. Mrs. Joe has been hit over the head, knocked senseless. Yet, the unknown convict has taken nothing from the house. Pip immediately suspects Ulrich, as he hates Mrs. Joe, and now she looks scared every time she sees him. But he had no proof. His sister has suffered some serious brain damage, having lost much of voice, her hearing, and her memory. To help with the housework and to take care of Mrs. Joe, Biddy moves into the house and becomes a blessing to the household.
Very soon she became a trusted friend to both of us, and a blessing to the household.
Biddy, I want you to help me. Don't I help you, Pip?
Some years passed. Pip now is a strong young man, and Biddy is turning into a wise, sensible woman. One day, they go for a walk, and Pip confesses that he wants to be a gentleman so that he'll be acceptable and perhaps loved by Stella. Biddy sadly suggests that becoming a gentleman to gain over a woman who thinks him silly and common does not sound very logical. One day, Joe and Pip are at the inn when they are approached by Mr. Jaggers, a stranger who wants to talk to both of them alone. Pip recognizes him as a man he had once run into at Mrs. Havisham's house, years before. Back at the workshop, the man Jaggers explains that Pip now has great expectation. He has been given a large amount of money by an anonymous benefactor.
You would not object to cancel his apprenticeship for his own good, at his own request? You would want nothing for so doing?
Heaven forbid I should want anything for not standing in Pip's way.
Very well then. I come now to this young fellow. And my communication to him is that he has great expectations.
Fulfilling Pip's dreams, Jaggers explained that Pip is to be brought up a gentleman and will be taught by Matthew Pocket. Jaggers gives him money enough for new clothes and leaves, expecting to meet him in London within a week.
20 guineas. Well, Joseph Gargery, you look dumbfounded.
I am.
Then good night, Mr. Gargery. Good night, Pip.
Good night, sir.
Money changes. Pip decides to leave his new clothes at Uncle Bumblechook's house. He's now more ashamed of Joe's low life and education. He asks Betty to help chain Joe, but for the first time she refuses. Pip spends an uncomfortable evening with Betty and Joe, then retires to bed. There, despite having all his dreams come true, he finds himself feeling very lonely.